Oh, hey, what's up to our sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the mother-loving geek nation, and welcome to one of the longest-running pop culture podcasts of all time, CultPOP Podcast Live, episode 170.
If you're new here, this is the place where we celebrate the things we love, like movies, comics, television, video nasty remakes, and all the other things that scratch that nerdy itch. Tonight, we're broadcasting, which I think technically they call this
Sounds sexist.
live broadcasting.
Broad.
We're dude casting.
There we go.
To you live from Young Chunk HQ.
Young Chunk!
Oh, you played along. That's fantastic.
Nice,
I didn't even
you.
play along. A bomb-ass podcast studio space here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'm JD of Johnny Destructo's Hero Complex, located at 4327 Main Street, Philadelphia, PA 19127. It's a rad comic shop that caters to rad folks just like you, so get on in there. No matter your shape, your size, your gender, your ethnicity, comics are for everyone.
Your social strata.
Yeah.
Your finances.
Well, no billionaires.
Why not?
No billionaires.
What if a billionaire
I will
wanted
set
to
you
buy all the things?
All right, 1 billionaire.
Yeah, dude. You just need one billionaire.
Just 1 billion. You know what?
Yeah.
There's
gotta
got
be
for just 1 billion.
There's got to be one nice one who likes comics.
Is there? Could there? Sure.
Jeff Bezos' ex-wife can come in and she can.
Perfect.
There
Oh,
you go.
Yep.
Gates' ex-wife.
There you go.
Alice couldn't be with us tonight, but we have an exceptional fill-in and journalist, critic, and co-founder of Certified Forgotten. God damn it. I'm forever mad about that name because it's so good. Certified Forgotten.
Hey.
Matt Monagle, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here. The tagline comes from the fact that some films are certified fresh, some films are certified rotten. Our films are certified forgotten, and I forget to do that on my own podcast, so I'm glad I did it on yours.
Hey,
I-
you're nailing it.
What's a good example of a certified forgotten film? Something recent that you just reviewed.
So there is. There's been a couple of films that we've done over the year. Entrance is a film from the 2010s that is a Los Angeles home invasion sort of slasher film. It's something that most people haven't seen. The co-director and co-writer is the guy that actually did Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, Patrick Horvath.
Oh, the
is one
comic
of the
book.
writers.
Dope.
So it's one of those things where it's going to become a little bit more popular, but we love those movies that show up on a festival, and everybody comes out of the movie buzzing and are like, that's everybody's going to be talking about it. It never goes anywhere.
This reminds me of, I think it was the most recent short about Vinegar Syndrome. Did you get a chance to see it? The
No.
Reviver series?
No, I had not.
Okay, so it's these, I'll share it afterwards, but there's these releases that Vinegar Syndrome are doing of found
Oh, I did. No, I
footage.
did watch. Yes, I did.
right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Do those. Make
Nice.
those certified forgotten. Let's all remember that stuff. And I'm Noel,
Hey.
a physical media space on Instagram, a digital space that celebrates physical media. We also want to draw your attention to our producers. Who's back there? Is it Noah?
Noah?
It's just me.
Just everybody.
Just Noah.
Just Noah. I have 2 questions for you, Noah.
Let's do it.
If anyone's watching, listening, and/or hate watching,
Hey, yeah.
whatever, wants to know more about Young Chunk, the space, the
Sorry.
services, and where they can inquire about those things, how would you answer that question?
Check us out on our Instagram, Yunk Junk. And, we'll field all your questions. We'll take your requests, and you can watch all of our podcasts on there, too.
Hey, baby.
Hey, quick note for anyone who is not from or currently living in this 5-block radius. Young Chunk comes from Manny Yunk. In case you're ever wondering what Young Chunk means.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood in Philadelphia. Man Yunk.
Yeah, that's all.
Man Yunk.
Man
It's
The best neighborhood in Philadelphia, in my humble opinion,
Oh,
as
I'll
someone who
take it.
moved halfway across the country to get here.
just here.
Just saying.
Like-
Just the Maniac.
Just a minute.
Just
Okay,
the-
A
honestly,
destination.
no
just the
other
Maniac.
contributing factors.
Kind of just Maniac, honestly.
Second question for you, Noah. What's the most disturbing thing you've seen online or otherwise? Maybe it was in real life. Who knows? Maybe
yeah.
you did the thing that's disturbing.
And it's before 9 p.m., so keep it
Keep it our NC-17 rated.
keep it PG
Not
13
X.
plus.
We don't want to lose the FCC license.
Yeah.
Man, there's a bit too much for me to go through at the moment, but I would just say Rocket Power fan fiction, where Tito, the older guy, he puts a bone in his butt.
What's Rocket Power?
Oh,
Well-
it's a cartoon. It's a Nickelodeon cartoon
Oh.
about skateboarding.
Oh. And he put a bone in his butt. Who was it? A femur? What kind of bone?
I'm pretty sure it was.
It was just like a dog bone looking bone.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't anatomical, was it?
Yeah.
No, it was like a human bone.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's not
Yeah.
bad.
But I mean like a cartoon bone, as in you couldn't be like, oh, that's clearly the blah 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 that belongs to this appendage. No.
regarding this second question, there was a period of time in the early 2000s and the infancy of the internet
Just the baby
where
one.
I saw some of the worst things that I still see when I close my eyes. There was a website, Rotten.
Just talking about it earlier.
What was it?
I think it was Rotten. They were
It
saying
was just called Rotten.com, and they would just have the worst, supposedly real things on there, and it was like the dark web before the dark web. It was just on the light web, and it still haunts me. I can't describe any of them because it'll haunt you.
I had a roommate in college that showed me some like hopefully wasn't real stuff.
Yeah.
Like check this out.
Uh-huh.
Like really fucked up shit.
And unpleasant.
How many of you
Anywho.
watched?
I spent my formative years trading Star Wars cards online and getting ripped off by children halfway around the world because I opened the envelope and it was just a bunch of commons and they were like haha written on a thing. So
Oh, rude.
it was no less traumatizing, but much less explicit.
You know what? On a scale of like 1 to snuff film, that is really awful.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like you win.
I remember it. It haunts me. I wake up sometimes.
It's sweating.
It's a terrible metric too. What's 1 if snuff film is high? So,
Yeah.
so it's higher than snuff film. You're welcome. Sorry.
Tonight we're going to talk about the new horror film Faces of Death, a remake, remaster, retelling, retread, redux of the idea of a very real snuff film that's totally fake that I just found out like last week that it was totally fake. I spent my entire life up until this point thinking maybe that was real. But then also in the back of my mind being like, that seems weird that they'd be allowed to put that thing out into the world and
It was banned.
rent it at Blockbuster Video or wherever I rented it from.
It was the Streisand effect because it wasn't real, but everyone thought it was. They banned it and made it more real than it ever could be.
Yep.
Yeah. Remember though, if you're here live, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you're watching this later, you should do that also.
Yeah.
We love a little back and forth, so pipe up in the chat, send us an email, let us know what you're thinking, feeling, hoping, wishcasting, dreaming, all those things.
To cultpopgo@gmail.com, and we'll address them here on the show, just like we're about to do because we got letters.
We have letters?
Oh, we got lots and lots and lots
Lots and
and
lots
lots
and
of letters.
letters.
There it is. Thank you. This is one letter, and it's from Alice. You know what's really annoying
Who's
is that
Alice?
I had it all ready to go, and then my phone refreshed, and now it's gone. So you guys kvetch amongst yourselves.
So this kid that ripped me off with the Star Wars.
Oh,
cards,
yeah, dude, did you ever
I
get
found
any-
it. Here we go.
all right.
Shut
What
up.
lesson did you learn from that?
We'll
Is
talk
it a
after the
trust
show.
lesson
We'll talk
or a-
after
oh.
the show. I've got thoughts.
Friend and co-host Alice has written us in because she's not here, and when she's not here, she has to write in. Them's the rules. Hello, Cold Poppers. I was informed that I had to cry and/or send an email to excuse my absence tonight. I did both. Oh, what's been poppin' for me this week, you ask? Two things. The new season of Dimension 20 aired last week, and the Intrepid Heroes are playing Vampire the Masquerade.
Yep.
So stoked to have my fave D&D players doing this TTRPG for two reasons. One, we ready?
This is the first reason.
I freaking love vampires. And two, I also just started playing in a VTM campaign. It is a delight, and I highly recommend playing the game and watching the show. My second Poppins is a delightful podcast called Certified Forgotten.
Hey.
Parentheses, hi, Matt.
Hello.
I started listening after our episode with Matt where we discussed The Bride, and I am such a fan. I started from the beginning, and it is so much fun
Ooh,
hearing
don't
about
do
some
that.
hidden gems.
Ooh. Let me
Pick a
give you
halfway
playlist.
point.
Yeah.
Pick a halfway point.
10 out of 10, highly recommend. Will definitely be making my way through the rest of the episodes.
Thank you, Al.
My thoughts
I need-
on Faces of Death are a little disorganized. Please forgive me. Ha ha!
Do you want to hold those until the actual review of the show?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
You're going to be a part of the review, Alice.
Remind me to do that.
Of course I will.
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Hey, so that's the beginning of the show. We introduced ourselves. We flirted a little bit. I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe you're a little sweaty in the palms because of it, and that's lovely. And now we're going to do the portion of the show I lovingly call What's Poppin', wherein I ask my friends and co-hosts what's poppin' for them this week. I'm going to start with our illustrious guest, Matt. What was poppin' for you this week?
So this week I had to travel for work, and on the plane I finished a book called The Boatman by
A
Alex
book, you said?
Gresham. A book.
With
I read a book.
Works.
There were no pictures.
Full prose.
Just it's a novella, so it's only 120 pages.
Ah,
Is
that's-
that all right?
That's better. That's like a comic book.
That's close to bookish.
It's
yeah,
bookish
that's-
in shape.
Yeah, novella makes me think like 80, 90.
Yeah.
You went that
I went
extra
a little,
30 pages.
yeah, I had some extra room to spare. So a couple years ago, I read this guy's first book, which is called Red Rabbit, and it is a western about a group of bounty hunters who go to kill a witch.
Hey now.
It is so Alex Gresham. There's just something about the way he writes that one book in, I finished Red Rabbit. I said this is my favorite book of all time, which is a lot for a book that you just read.
Holy cats.
And he writes in this way that is of genre, but not really married to any one thing. So it's horrific, but it's not horror. It's fantastical, but it's not fantasy. All of these genre elements that he pulls in are in service of something that feels uniquely like the world that he's creating. So in The Boatman, it's about a group of people on a cruise ship who turn and look behind them and see that there is a figure in a suit on a gondola that is slowly paddling after them. And they find out, or they come to realize, that as long as they stay ahead of him, they can never die. And so there's a lot of places that sets up the story to go. But again, it's horrific, but it's not horror. It's fantastical, but it's not fantasy. It's just this really fun and elusive story about these characters that feel fully realized. And this is the second book of his that I read. He wrote a sequel to Red Rabbit that I've had on my shelf for years. And I was like, if it's bad, it's going to be devastating.
Oh.
So now I'm like, oh, thank God. I really, really love this author. I can go back and read that book now.
Quick disclaimer. Boatman, one word. Don't get The Boatman, which is about a police detective, Reed Maddox, just 3 months removed from the death of his partner, has turned invisibility into an art form.
It's not that one.
Okay.
By Dustin Stevens. Don't read that one. Read The Boatman.
The Boatman.
I will
Boatman
say-
sounds like Speed meets It Follows.
Yeah.
With immortality.
You're not wrong. That is the vibe.
I loved the log line. A slow burn atmospheric story follows a mysterious, elegant figure in a white suit who pursues a cruise ship.
Yeah. And
Speed 2.
if you're interested, if I've successfully sold you on it, it's available on the shelves right now at our friends at Thrillerdelphia.
Thrillerdelphia.
So I'm plugging.
At this point, Noah, if you can hit to me, we should just have the Thrillerdelphia logo go right there.
Yep, nailed it.
And then
He's on
spin
top
out
of
a frame.
Yeah.
Or just leave Noel doing what he's
And
doing.
then leave the link here. Make it a clip. Thank you.
Wonderful.
And then demand that they compensate you for the plug.
Oh, we're gonna collab on it. It's gonna be great.
So this first, your favorite book of all time.
Yeah.
Is called what?
It's called Red Rabbit.
Red Rabbit. And
There's
illustration?
werewolves, there's cannibalism, there's witchcraft, there's Satan,
I'm in.
there's cowboys.
That's great.
It's everything. It's got everything.
I have a similar. I have another book that I quite love that it feels like its own thing, and it almost sounds a little bit silly when I say it out loud. But there was an author named Richard Lehman, who I grew up reading a lot. He was very hard to find back in the day in America. I had to order them from I think overseas because he gets a lot more over there than he does here. But he did a novel called Savage, which is it starts off at London Jack the Ripper story, and then it turns into a Wild Wild West story. And it's just such a fun thing. I highly recommend. You should try it out. It's called Savage by Richard Lehman.
Just gonna quietly add it to my Goodreads
Do it.
while we move on.
I quickly Googled Richard Lehman and no discredit because I don't know anything about this man. One of the first things is a YouTube video that comes up and it's titled "Richard Lehman is awful and you should be ashamed of reading him."
Yeah, whoever
Is he dead?
He's dead.
Okay.
Whoever said that is correct.
Is he terrible? Terrible man or terrible writer? Terrible man.
But
No.
dead. If
But
he's
dead.
terrible.
I don't
Yeah.
know if he's a terrible man,
Oh.
but his books are
Trashy?
trashy.
Trash
His
is fine.
books
We
are
love trash.
Trash is
trashy.
great.
We love trash.
That's it.
Garbage bad, trash
Trashy.
great.
Yeah.
We're losing paperbacks, so we need to appreciate what we had when we
Yeah.
had them.
Well, I'm looking at the covers of these too, and it's just that is airplane slop trash.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah, Night of the Lonesome October. He's done
Night of-
I have a whole box.
It sounds like a word generator title.
Yeah. Hey, I wrote it.
Night of the
Before it existed.
Lonesome Airplane Loader. Yeah.
What was popping for you this week?
Well, I feel like I have less space for new TV shows because there's so many movies, and I don't necessarily always want to commit to 6 seasons of whatever. A couple years ago, everyone fell in love with this TV show called Yellowstone.
Ah.
And I'll never watch it.
Okay.
I'm sure it's great. It doesn't really hit anything. However, it's created by Taylor Sheridan, who I'm very familiar with. So I was like, oh, should I watch that? You know what? I would rather go back and watch the Taylor Sheridan movies that I have not seen yet. So over the last week, I watched both Wind River, which is written and directed by Taylor Sheridan, and Hell or High Water, which is only written by Taylor Sheridan.
What a double feature.
Within like 2 days. So Wind River, well, we'll do it in this order. A wildlife officer who finds the body of an 18-year-old woman on an American Indian reservation in snowy Wyoming teams up with a young FBI agent to solve the mystery of the teen's death. It's Elizabeth Olsen, and Jeremy Renner.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Never
First
seen
of all, I completely forgot how good Jeremy Renner can be.
Yeah.
I forgot that he's an Academy
He's good.
Award nominated
Yeah.
actor, right? He's been in just TV and kind of fun, slappy movies for the last decade. I just forgot how fucking emotive and expressive and just on the ball he is.
Mm.
But this movie is it's less about the mystery of the whodunit and more about the nature of these kinds of procedurals. Like when it's revealed how the movie is structured, I think was really, really impressive too.
Yeah.
Because you have nothing but mystery, and then all of a sudden the movie stops and shows you exactly what happened in real time.
Ah.
And then comes back to where we just left off.
Yeah.
And it was just so satisfying and fascinating and heartbreaking and fucked up. And I loved it. I loved every second. I even loved how it ended in kind of a, we're not going to be all right, but we're going to be all right, but we're not going to be all right.
Right.
Hey, this is life. Really great. And then Hell or High Water, which was directed by David Mackenzie, but written by Taylor Sheridan.
Had you seen that one before?
No, I'd not seen
Oh,
either of these
okay,
before, and
all right.
I picked them up physical, and I wanted to watch them. Two brothers plan a series of heists against the bank that foreclosed on their family's ranch, and standing in their way is a Texas Ranger who's only weeks away from retirement. Chris Pine, Ben Foster are the brothers.
Ah, I love Ben Foster.
Me too.
Marcus is Texas Ranger is Jeff Bridges. I should have my phone up with my stupid letterbox because I like more so than the actual movie. Middle Texas is a main character. It's just such a sweaty, silly, but effective movie. So as edge of your seat as can be when the entire vibe is laid back and methodical. The forgotten small towns of Texas are just as much character in this neo-Western that starts with a shot of adrenaline and ends with a faint promise of justice, no matter how noble the intention of one's misdeeds. Stellar cast against the stark backdrop of a dying American culture that's maybe run its course. Recommend to fans of contemplative thrillers like No Country for Old Men.
That's the vibe I got.
I actually think I liked it more than No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
I love No Country for Old Men, but it's just shy of being perfect, and I haven't nailed down why.
I think
There's
it's usually
so much I love.
I mean,
about it.
everyone's complaint about No Country for Old Men usually is the
Main
the last
character
15
dies
minutes.
off screen.
Spoiler for a 25-year-old movie, but yeah, but
Mm.
but to me that's we're going to talk about No Country for Old Men for 2 minutes. That is the point in the movie where I realized, the movie is not about that fucker at all.
Yeah.
And you've just been
Yeah.
walking around. It's just about Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
This is a much more balanced movie.
That's what it is. It feels unbalanced. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they reverse engineered. It's like they had this small story they wanted to tell about the retiring ranger.
Yeah.
Reverse engineered a whole last case, then got enamored with the case and only did that for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh shit, what's this about? It's just about this guy.
Hmm.
Deuces. Which is bold. No, I absolutely adored these movies.
Wind River and Hell or High Water, 2016 and 2017.
They're not fun sits, but goddamn it, I'm so glad I did it. Yeah.
Sheridan he's gotten a little high off his own supply, I
That's
would
what
say,
I
in the
hear.
last decade. And you can argue where he sits on the line of exploitation versus other things when it comes to how he depicts indigenous culture. All of that said, I always say that the type of horror I like the most is where you're waiting for the thing to happen and then it happens all of a sudden. And there is a gunfight in Wind River that is the most jaw-dropping gunfight I've ever seen.
Yep.
Because it's unlike any gunfight you'll ever
Really?
see in any other film. And I don't want to say anything else
Yeah,
about it
don't.
because you
Shut
got to
up.
experience it. But
Also,
that movie is great.
Wow.
I don't watch the trailer for Wind River, unfortunately, because one of the biggest beats in that gunfight is in the trailer,
Ugh.
and it really like I was waiting for it. Whereas if I
Steps
was
on
just
it.
watching that, like the way that they structure that, the same thing with Hell or High Water too, because it's a very slow kind of takes its time movie. There's 2 instances in that movie where violence happens fast and swift and surprisingly, and it just like I was sitting there with my wife, 2 characters in a waiting to get gas or at a convenience store, and something just crazy violent happens from a character you weren't expecting it, and she's like, "What's going on?" And I was just like, "We just learned something about that character that was not revealed in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form before that."
I get a lot of shit
Like,
from some of my friends because there's great movies like the all of the martial arts, the Hong Kong cinema, all the films that follow in the footsteps of The Raid. I have a hard time with them because they start kind of at one level and they don't really have anywhere to go. So it's just more of the same. I would always take a film that basically says when we're going to be violent, when it's going to get violent, it's going to matter so much, and it's not going to be all the time. It's going to be here and here and here. It's a garnish. And Wind River and Hell or High Water, it's there's always the threat of violence there, but when it actually happens, you feel like you just sat through The Raid. Like it's a level of violence where you're just like, I need a moment. I need to sit down.
Wow.
Well, in Wind River specifically too, the whole reveal of how things transpired. As soon as that sequence starts, you know exactly how it's going to play out.
Right.
But then we go through the act of playing it out and realizing just how gut-wrenching it is.
Yeah.
And they don't even show half of it.
Yep.
Like, it is such an effective, wonderful movie.
I would say so.
Because where the characters end up too, like, again, Jeremy Renner, it's fucking the way that Taylor Sheridan reveals backstory too is so stupid efficient. We start Hell or High Water with them starting to rob the bank, and you get pieces of their motivation for the first 25 minutes in small organic snippets, and it just kind of keeps you threaded. It's so good.
I can't. I'm
Crazy
can't wait to watch
recommend.
both of these.
Crazy recommend.
And if you need any other hooks, Wind River, John Bernthal.
Oh yeah,
I love
That's
him.
all I'm gonna say.
yeah.
great.
I didn't even know he was gonna be in it. I was
Yeah.
like, hey,
Like a little prize. Like
Yeah.
a little. This is gonna get awful, but here
a
you
little,
go.
a little,
Here's some
a
John
little,
Bernthal.
a souchon of,
A spoonful of sugar to make the medicine
yeah.
go down.
JD, what
Hi.
have you been up to?
I had a disappointing week as far as the things that I have experienced. Hell House LLC, I finally got around to it. It's a 2015 found footage horror film directed by Stephen Cognetti. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 75% and audience has it at a 71%. And I feel like at least Alice
She loves it.
loves it. Did you
I
recommend this?
I did not recommend it. I watched this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember liking it,
Okay.
but I don't remember much about it.
A documentary crew visits Hell House to investigate what really
Just
happened
figuring out.
5 years earlier when 15 people were killed during a haunted house tour. So I can take or leave most found footage films at this point.
Mhm.
But I had heard good things about Hell House LLC, and so I was looking forward to watching it. I know there is a slew of sequels and prequels at this point.
4?
I don't know.
Is that
Let's say
constitute a
4.
slew?
Let's say 4.
It sounds like a slew.
It's a
And-
murder of Hell Houses.
A
yes,
murder of
yeah.
hell houses.
So I
Hell's
finally got
House.
around to it, and I found all of the characters to be kind of boring, stiff. I didn't really care for any of the drama that they were pretending to be going through. I felt every actor acting as opposed to feeling like this is something that has been experienced, and we
Mhm.
just happen to capture it on camera. And it's the same sort of stuff that most of these films suffer from, which is like, why would you even be filming at this point? Just there's no human on earth that would keep rolling for this. And then there was the big climactic end where you find out like what happened with the 15 people, and it's so shaky, and it's hard to decipher what's actually happening. It's just a bunch of people screaming and yelling and running, and they have a bunch of interviews from the locals and the police department and people who were around 15 years ago when it happened, or 5 years ago. And it just, none of it was believable. None of it was particularly interesting. It didn't really do anything with the found footage subgenre that I thought was original at all. It just felt like a pretty rote experience, and I was just kind of bummed when it was over.
What did you think of Hell House? Is that your bag?
I remember liking again, like you. I haven't seen it in a long time. I remember liking it. It's very much of its era. It's in that like Grave Encounters, found footage kind of vibe. I love Grave Encounters, but yeah, I think a lot of the things that JD that you're saying, I think I probably agree with you. But I also think it maybe hit a little different 10 years ago when you were
exactly.
like, indie horror, what is this? This is new.
Oh, okay. I think I know why it didn't necessarily stick with me. It was like 2 years after VHS. And to me, VHS was like awesome. All the VHS
pinnacle?
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was Blair Witch, Paranormal Activity, and then VHS.
Is that it trailing off?
That's
Or what is this?
I Don't Care, Noise. Yeah, like Blair Witch, which we rewatched last year and did a full podcast
Still
on,
love it.
and all of us were like, oh shit, this holds up.
Yeah.
What it doesn't show you is more impactful than anything else, and you don't question all the reasons as to why you would be doing this or doing that. But then I just didn't care about the genre for a long time, and VHS was probably the first and last time since then that I actually cared, because it's just so little chunks and snippets and
I remember really
experimental
liking Wreck.
films.
Yeah,
I remember
Wreck is good.
I remember not hating it.
But yeah, Hell House LLC, I do not recommend it. Unless you feel like you want to watch some 2015 found footage.
Alice, let us know which Hell House is your favorite.
Horror fans, I am just a guest on this podcast. JD does not speak for me. Don't come at me with your defenses of Hell House LLC.
And then my other experience was, I don't know if it was on Book Talk. I think I wound up, someone was like, my favorite horror novels of the past 10 years. And one of them was We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kleiwer, Kliewer. And I wound up doing the Audible, the audio book. And it's hard to talk about this book without straight up spoiling it. Because I went in blind. I didn't know what it was about. It was other than these two women are married. They're house flippers. They buy this house out in the mountains. And the one is gone for a little while. The one wife is gone for a little while. And so the real nervous, anxiety-ridden woman is there. And a whole family, husband, wife, 3 children show up, knock on the door. Hey, can we come in? My name is Thomas. I used to live here. This is my childhood home. I grew up here. Is it okay if we just come in for a few minutes and I show them around to like where I grew up, and it would mean a lot to me and all this other stuff? And her gut is to say no. But, you know, in the same way that, God, what was the movie where it's like, oh, why did you do this? Because you let us? Which
Strangers.
Yeah,
The
or well,
Strangers,
because we
yes.
could, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were up. Because you were home. Yeah.
Because you answered your door. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and so spooky stuff starts to happen from there. And I was interested for about half of it, and then when I clocked what was happening, what the actual story was, I was like, well, I know exactly how this is going to end. And that's exactly what it did. And it just, if it was a novella, if it was 130 pages, sure. But this is the full-length novel, and it just overstayed its welcome, and then didn't have any real surprises by the end of it. Same thing with Hell House. It's like, oh, I've seen this story before.
This started as a Reddit hash. How the fuck do you say Reddit?
No sleep.
r/no sleep.
Yeah.
Creepypasta. Yeah. It's also
A creepypasta, yeah.
option for a movie with Blake Lively by Netflix.
And I'm on Goodreads currently, and it has mostly 4-star reviews, 106,000 4-star reviews. I'm probably in the 2-star range, but people seem to love this book, and I wonder how many of them is it because they were around for the creepypasta version of it, of like, oh, I'm just going to read a chapter here and there.
And it's probably why a lot of people love Hell House. They were around for it, or they saw it early in their
found footage
language of
yeah.
found footage experience.
Yeah,
So,
so-
didn't see the seams as much as maybe old hats like us do all the time.
Mhm.
You're not wrong though. This was a book. Is a book talk darling. I feel like anytime somebody says, what is a horror book that you've in the last 10 years, it is on every best horror book list.
I'm curious why.
Do you think you would have, because you said you listened to the audiobook?
Yeah.
Do you think you would have liked it more if you read it? Did that change the experience at all for you?
I think I would have been more frustrated
Hmm.
because it would take me longer to read it
Got it.
than to listen to it on 1.5.
That was going to be my next question. Is what's
Because
the
I
okay.
listen to everything on 1.5
All right.
or 1.4, depending on the narrator, the voiceover actor. But yeah, I'm glad I got through it quickly. So yeah, if you're out there, I don't recommend it. If you're interested, don't do it.
Do you quit books if you're like halfway through something and you're like, are you a
I have,
DNFer?
yes. It's not intentional. It's not, I hate this, put it away.
Gotcha.
It is, there is something more interesting. I'll read that for a while and I'll go back to it. Whoops, I never went back to it.
Got it.
So
Or I've been around where you've done that. I'll go back to it. You go back to it. You don't remember a fucking thing. You start it
Start
over
from the
again. You
beginning.
quit again.
yeah, I've done that. Yeah. Shit.
There we go.
And it was like learning the same lesson. Like, oh, that's why I quit.
Yeah. Stove is still hot. Nope.
Yeah.
So that's what was popping for us this week.
I'm sorry you had a bad poppin' week.
Yeah.
Me too.
Is there anything you liked?
We're watching Daredevil season 2.
Yeah, it's fun.
We're I think we're caught up. There's one new one that we haven't watched
It's like
yet,
tonight.
but
Or was it last night?
it's good last night.
Okay.
But that's a great show. I'm really enjoying. And I really would like to catch up with DTF.
Oh, I haven't tried that yet. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
one's a
super
really
interested. Is
good,
it good?
murder mystery.
Cool.
Yeah, that one's great.
Have you tried that one yet?
Mm-mm.
So yeah.
The pit ends this week, so that's kind of all we're waiting for.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
I think I'm going to read your book next.
Okay.
The Grecian.
I really hope you like
yeah,
it.
wait,
Yeah.
are you Alex?
No.
Yeah.
That would be I would be much more explicit if I was that talented. I'd be like, it's me, I wrote it.
Gotcha. So are we going to our main review?
Let's go to our main review. Faces of Death from 2026, written by Daniel Goldhaber and Issa Mazai?
It's Issa Mitsei.
Mitsei. Oh, I like that. Says
Issa Mitsei.
Directed by Daniel.
Goldhaber.
Goldhaber.
There we go.
And Issa Mitsei.
Did she
Starring.
direct it with him?
No.
Oh, we go.
They have an and credit though, which people are like, what does that mean? But yeah.
Starring Barbie Ferreira,
Docker.
Montgomery, Joshi Toda, and Aaron Holiday in Faces of Death. The exploration of the original film's infamous "Is it real or not?" conceit continues as a woman, Ferreira, working as a content moderator for a major video platform, not TikTok, discovers what appears to be reenactments of murders from the original film. In an online world where nothing can be trusted, she must determine whether the violence is fiction or unfolding in real time. Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 67%, Popcorn Meter 67%,
Yeah.
Metacritic 63, and a cinema score of C.
I'm gonna check those numbers because I remember.
That sounds
being like,
crazy.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever see that.
Hey,
I am one of those positive Rotten Tomatoes reviews, so I've got it up to the 67. If you guys want me to bump it down, I can do that too, if that's freaking you out a little bit.
No, man. Middle of the road usually skews positive.
Correct.
Alice and I went to Wawa the other day after she was helping me move stuff, and we got
Sorry, it's
coffees.
66 now. 67,
Our number
66.
was 666.
Nice.
We were delighted.
That was appropriate.
It's down to what?
So it's 67 certified, 66 popcorn.
Okay.
So
Hey, Matt Monacle.
Yes, sir.
What's your experience with the original Faces? Can you tell us a little bit of the original Faces of Death from when I was a youngin'?
I can tell you what I know. I have never seen it.
Oh, well, you shut up. So when
Okay.
I was a kid,
really?
Yeah.
in the
Never had a desire.
early 80s?
78.
Oh, it's
Late 70s.
Yeah.
So late 70s, early 80s. There was a VHS called Faces of Death. And from my understanding, it was banned. It was banned.
It was VHS. Nasty.
It's a video nasty.
Video Nasty, which is a banned movie. And what's happening?
I just
It's
found his
me.
certified review.
In my incredibly
Yeah,
old
sorry.
photo.
And so, The Faces of Death was something that was talked about in hushed tones in the schoolyard. We were like, oh my God, my brother rented this movie or got a hold of this movie, and we watched it, and it's got real deaths in it, actual deaths, and of both humans and animals alike. And everyone wanted to watch it, but didn't want to watch it. And so I couldn't even tell you how I got a hold of it or how I watched it. If it was banned, I probably didn't rent it. So one of my friends or friends' brothers must have had it. And I watched it. And it seemed like a bunch of accidental deaths caught on tape and then compiled into a mix. Right?
America's Funniest Home Videos. but
Yes.
the After Midnight version.
It was the Jackass, the early Jackass
Original Jackass.
tapes.
So I'm going to say something a little violent, and I'm going to describe one of the deaths that has haunted me literally ever since. Be aware, it might be gross and upsetting. The only death I remember from Faces of Death wasn't a human.
Oh, yeah.
It was a monkey sitting in a table. There was like a hole with a cage, and the monkey was in there. And then there were people at the table ready to eat. And so what they did was they had hammers, and they would bonk the monkey on the head, take turns bonking this poor monkey that can't go anywhere. And so it's just spinning around in a circle trying to find a way out and can't, until it's eventually bonked to death. And then they crack open its skull and they eat the monkey brains.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only part of that movie I remember. I hate it. It has haunted me ever since, and it's really stuck with me. Just the poor thing being stuck and unable to escape and clearly distressed, and they're just having a happy time bonking it on the head till it dies, and it's just stuck with me. So that's my experience with this movie, the original Faces of Death. Did you have an experience at all?
Yeah, I rented it direct from Hollywood Video in Spring Hill, Florida. I think I was like maybe 14, 15. We watched it. It was like a sleepover. And it felt more bad than was disturbing, if that makes sense.
It felt more bad than disturbing.
Yeah, it felt like we were doing something naughty versus
right.
it actually
I
being
see.
any kind of effective. Because I
Gotcha.
think at that point, too, we were poking holes at it. Like, I wasn't so young
Mhm.
that I just immediately believed it.
Mm-hmm.
I did think, and I found out that I think it is real, all of the B-roll footage of, like, animal stuff. That's actual, like, slaughterhouses and, bleeding, kosher bleeding a cow out kind of things like that. So the structure of Faces of Death, it is this movie kind of talks through it, but it is a coroner talking to camera about the crazy things that he's seen, and he kind of narrates and bridges the sequences with little like snippets of bad poetry, almost like a forensic crypt keeper.
Yeah.
In between shit. Nothing more dangerous than kindness. And then it would just be something weird.
Right.
And then they would have, like some things that seemed staged, but you're like, oh, it's probably real. I think it was just kind of the aspect of it being banned and bad was more effective than the content in the film.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I would get scared of more fake, visceral things than just like footage of a shooting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all grainy and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like kind of cool, but then also I think that same night we also rented Meet the Feebles.
Oh no!
That's
So
a
the
very
double-
different vibe.
The double feature was Meet the
Ah.
Feebles and
Same experience for me. I hate
yeah.
that movie.
because I love Dead Alive, which I think was the
Yeah.
weekend before that.
Yeah.
So we were like, Peter Jackson, let's go. And
Like
it was
Dead
like,
Alive, Meet the Feebles just really tested my patience.
I want to see it again.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was edgy, and the movie's really edgy, but I want to watch it with like old man eyes.
There is,
Yeah.
in my memory, Meet the Feebles is so dark and grimy.
Mhm.
It occupies the same memory space and feel of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but with Muppets, with puppets.
I don't disagree with
Does
that.
that feel right? Ugh.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable, and I just.
We were talking earlier, though, about you learning some stuff about VHS much later, much more recently. You do know that the monkey thing is one of the fake
Yeah.
things, correct? Okay.
Yes.
So
That
did
made me
you
feel
did
good.
you feel
Ah.
20 years of childhood
Yeah,
trauma
yes,
just like
yes.
wash away from you in that moment?
Actually, I told him that
What a good friend.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
What a good friend.
Yeah.
Because again, we were talking about Vinegar Syndrome, and they restored and are doing the 4K of
Yeah.
Face of Death, but the whole like 10-minute restoration video they had like reels and reels of B-roll footage and stuff. And one of the things that they found and restored was the outtakes of that sequence where like, you know, I think it was something like the one camera, if you heard this story, you could stop me, but like the one cameraman kind of hit the other guy's hand because he accidentally revealed that there's like a stem of cauliflower underneath, like when they're pulling the head around. It's like a, you know, don't block it that way, block it this way kind of fun stuff, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's nice to know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's also, but it's one of those things that I know exists in the world, right? So whether or not the thing I'm physically watching in real time is happening, it's real enough, and I know it's a thing that exists.
Yeah.
It still damaged me.
It pokes a hole in your suspension of disbelief about the things that could be happening out there. 100%.
So anyway, Faces of Death. This is a new one, a requel, if you will. Yes, will you? You will.
Meta sequel.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you told me that there was a Faces of Death coming out,
Yeah.
I think I said, "Oh, is it about someone watching the original Faces of Death and then doing that?" So that's exactly what it is. I went in blind. I didn't watch a trailer for this. I love the poster though. I saw the poster with like the profile and the X, the red X.
Yeah.
Very cool profile poster. And so I went in blind. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know who was in it. And I found myself having a surprisingly fun time. Maybe fun's wrong. Fun's not the right word. I thought it was effective. I thought it was a surprisingly effective new version of Faces of Death. I wasn't expecting it exactly to be like a serial killer slasher. But I think it worked that way. I think that Barbie Ferreira was really good. I liked her as a final girl. She is not a final girl that I think we usually see in movies like this. So I was surprised and pleasantly surprised about that. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was really nice, really well done. I think it was really dark. I thought there was a lot of really nice atmosphere in the film. I thought it built tension in a really interesting way. And I don't really remember the music. Yeah, so that didn't really hit me in any certain
It
capacity.
was just like synthy stings on occasion.
When it was all
really much of a score.
A pulse.
Ambient.
A
Yeah,
pulse.
would probably.
Yeah.
But when all was said and done and the credits rolled, I was like, oh, that was surprisingly. I felt the same way that I felt about Hard Eyes. So yeah, do you want me to read Alice's?
Well, pull up Alice's. What did you think?
I liked it.
No spoilers yet.
No
we'll
spoilers
get to
yet.
those.
I hadn't seen the original or the inspiration or whatever you want to call it, right? Didn't have that kind of childhood. I was not one of those guys that was doing sleepovers and like I was too gentle of a spirit to watch something like Faces of Death before I was 22 years old. But there are a lot of times when we sit down and watch films, especially as film critics, we like to go in and be like, I am unspoilt. I am fresh snow. Nothing. I carry nothing into this movie theater with me. I am
bullshit.
I am only here to evaluate a film based on its own merits. I carry so much shit into a movie theater with me. And so I knew as I was watching this, because the previous films that Goldhaber has done, How to Blow Up a Pipeline and Cam, I think are really good. I think How to Blow Up a Pipeline is a masterpiece. And so when I knew that he was doing this particular property, I had a really hard time reconciling it. So I went in already with a little bit of tension. Yeah. There are things in this film, and we were kind of chatting about it earlier. There are things in this film that I think are brilliant. There are things in this film that I think miss the mark. Yeah. But I knew immediately after watching it that however I felt about it today, I'm going to like it more later. I'm going to watch this film again in 6 months. I'm going to watch it in a year. Now that I'm not experiencing it for the first time, now that I'm like, these are the things I know I'm not going to like, these are the things I'm going to like, I have a feeling this is just going to climb every couple of years for me until it's kind of like a core horror film that I like to revisit.
That's great. I love that. I didn't bring up any of the negatives at this point, but there are a couple, but they are outweighed, I think, by the positives for me. So yeah. What did you think, Noel?
I was a little colder on it than both of you. Not more than you, but not very far from you, Matt. I think that this is a lot of really, really good, juicy ideas. And there's two different movies fighting for attention during this runtime. And I don't think it services either of those types of stories. Like, I think that there is a incredibly interesting and culturally relevant and rife story about content moderation, apathy, our exposure, and then there's this mid to serviceable slasher that's juxtaposed with it, and every time we get momentum in either one of those, it gets kind of blunted by the other style of movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's balanced all that well. There are so many things about this that I did like that it made it almost more frustrating when I left the movie kind of cold, because you guys were a bit high on it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't think I liked it nearly as much as you guys did, but I'm not going to be in there and be like, it sucked, because it really did not.
Mhm.
It did not suck.
Yeah.
But there was so many things, like every time that I started to like ride the wavelength of the movie and like, oh, that's such a good idea. Like, oh, that's incredibly creative. It would immediately abandon that and turn into a not very good slasher, in my opinion. I didn't think it was a very good slasher. I thought it was like a Shudder original fine slasher.
Which it is. It's a Shudder original, yes?
Well, how do we
The
define
bump,
Shudder?
bump,
How do we
bump
define
came up
Shudder
before?
original? Just like stuff that they acquire, or
Yeah, stuff
that they produce.
stuff that they will put in the theaters, but eventually will only distribute on their platform. I think that's fair. It is a Shudder film. It's just one that they're actually putting a theatrical release behind, which they don't always do. They're pretty
the last one was like Good Boy,
cautious and measured about what they actually put in theaters.
which
Yeah.
was dope.
You had it's still on my
Good Boy was dope.
to be watched list, my TDW. You had wound up saying at a certain point, if it was just streaming on Shudder and you watched it,
My expectations would probably be a little lower,
yeah,
and which means
Yeah.
that my enjoyment would probably be a little higher.
Mhm.
I made time out of my day and traveled to go see
Yeah.
this in a theater where it's rife with possible aggravations,
Yeah.
and I just didn't feel rewarded by that experience. Will I think of this differently later? I don't think I will, but I do think that I will be thinking about and exploring some of the aspects of this movie that I wish it explored better, which we can get into in spoilers.
Yeah.
But what did Alice
I'm
think?
going to wait until we get into spoilers.
Oh,
to read
she's a
Alice's
spoilery?
opinion. So I recommend it. I think if you're looking for a horror movie that you can go see in the theaters right meow, I think Faces of Death is well worth your time. I think it's kind of, I almost keep saying fun. It's not fun. It's dark, but it is, I think, worth a watch in the theater.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Do you?
Yeah, I would recommend. There's two really interesting horror films playing right. Exit 8 and Faces
Exit
of
8,
Death.
I want to see it.
are
What's
two.
Exit 8?
Exit 8 is a neon release. It's based on a Japanese video game. It's about a guy who gets stuck in a hallway.
Yes,
The liminal state
I
horror.
do want to
yeah.
see that.
So I think this April has some of the more interesting concept horror films I've seen in wide releases in a hot minute. So you should be, I'll look at camera for the first time. You should be a brave soul and go see interesting looking horror movies in movie theaters, because the odds are we're not going to get these forever. This is not the kind of stuff that studios are going to put weight behind in an increasingly shrinking industry. Go see Faces of Death, go see Exit 8, then come talk to us about it.
I do want to clarify a little bit. I keep saying it's almost it's fun, but it's not fun. What it is it's dark.
Yeah.
Just like the original Faces of Death, I kind of equated it with the Maniac remake,
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
which
Yeah, it's good.
it's not as good as that, but
Oh,
it feels
I'm sorry.
like
That was
dark and
that was a guttural response of
Yeah.
like, oh, I love that movie, not comparing them. I'm sorry.
no, I get it. No, but I don't want
Oh,
to
yeah.
conflate. But it is dark, and it's not a feel good film, and it is about someone with a traumatic past and lots of anxiety, having to cope with that while also watching a lot of potentially harmful things on the internet, on the dark web, if you will. So it's not a fun sit, is my point, but I do think it is worthwhile.
Would you describe, for those that are maybe on the fence, and certainly folks that watch this and don't watch horror, it's not a tutorial course, right? It's definitely a little bit farther along.
Oh, yeah.
Would you describe this as a nihilistic film? Because I think that's what a lot of people respond to negatively, is films that just aren't rooting for good thing, actively rooting against the well-being of their characters, actively rooting
No.
for the bad thing to happen.
No,
I agree. I don't think it's
I don't
nihilistic.
think it is.
I think it's a
nihilistic.
movie about nihilism. I don't think it's a nihilistic
Right.
movie.
I think it's about overcoming nihilism.
I don't know if anybody overcomes nihilism
Or
in the movie.
right.
Like her journey is
But I think it's about it,
yes,
Yes.
yeah.
whether or not we get there.
The
different-
filmmaker's intent is not nihilism and to
Yes.
exploit or explore that. It's about nihilistic experiences and people. My rec is solid rental or streaming sit, but hard to recommend to anyone that isn't already committed to watching any new horror they can.
Yeah,
Oh,
fair enough.
Okay.
Like this is not a gateway movie. I
No,
wouldn't tell other people like you would be surprised how much you might like this, even though
Right.
you don't like. No,
It's not
How
Sinners.
House-
not at all.
Hell House LLC might be a gateway movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it?
Not
yeah.
this. Not this.
Yeah, it's not Sinners where it's just
Yeah.
like you don't know you want this.
I've
you
spent
want
so
this.
much time talking all of my non-horror friends into going and seeing Sinners. I'm like, it is a horror movie, but you'll be okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have that argument with this movie.
No. We're gonna get into spoilers for Faces of Death 2026 right now. So,
Could I ask you guys one question?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
One tiny one.
Yeah.
Do you think that new Backrooms movie is going to be worth watching?
Oh, I like everyone that's in it. I don't know if I'm gonna go out of my way to seek it. Have you seen the trailers for
Yeah.
it, right? But that also start as like an internet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thing.
it's another indie one.
It's
that's
another
why I brought it up.
creepypasta.
Yeah.
I understand liminal horror, and I get why it's everywhere in indie video games and indie horror movies right
yeah, 'cause
now.
it's cheap.
It's just not. It's not really my vibe. I think.
I mean, I wouldn't say found footage is my vibe, but if I find out a creative team and or something that I
Yeah.
am interested in, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
I love Chiwetel Ejiofor. I love
Yes.
who else is in that?
Lokita Maxwell from Shrinking is in it. The daughter.
Oh, that's right.
She's in it. I just think she's really great in
Is
Shrinking.
that Marin Ireland, or do I just say that every movie now has Marin Ireland? I
Let's
feel
see.
like every movie that comes out now has Marin Ireland, and I'm
Mark
very,
Duplass
All
Is
right,
he one of
there
the
we go.
producers or?
cast.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Duplass kind of like subby Johnny. I'm not. I mean, maybe I'll see it. I might go see it. I don't know.
I don't know anything. This is the first time hearing about it.
In the back of a furniture store, there's a room that is forever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
watch that. Sounds interesting enough. So spoilers. Hey, yeah, for Faces of Death. I'm going to read Alice's email. Here we go. My thoughts on Faces of Death are a little disorganized. Please forgive me.
Nope.
I never saw the original, but know the basic concepts. I've avoided the original intentionally because of trauma, but was intrigued by this remake or requel. I have still been trying to figure out my feelings about it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. And it has definitely been on my mind the last few days. I thought the performances by Barbie Ferreira and
Dacker Montgomery.
Dacker Montgomery were great. And it was interesting watching Barbie's character, Margot, struggle with her own personal demons while trying to atone for past mistakes by working her social media job. And I emphasized with her character's struggle to not take her work home with her. Something about the movie as a whole wasn't doing it for me, and I am still trying to think of why I wasn't totally into it. There are a couple of moments I had to turn away. Trauma! Again. And I've been wondering if me being on high alert for my triggers is what took me out of the experience, which, of course, is not the movie's fault at all. I am hoping to tune in tonight to hear what you all thought. Sadly, she was unable. She's out doing important stuff. Love you guys. Bye.
We are all our baggage.
Yeah.
Critics
Speaking
and
of
all.
baggage,
Yeah.
one of the things I really appreciated about this movie was our main character, played by Barbie Ferreira, her backstory and why she's here doing what she's doing when we meet her. I thought that was such an interesting way to take this final girl, someone who's been through a traumatic experience of her own, and which I didn't even realize was her sister at first. I thought it was a friend, but turns out it was her sister.
Yeah, it was in dialogue. It was her sister.
And the fact that she is taking that trauma and trying to funnel it into something positive by working for a not TikTok, and her job is basically to sit there and videos that have been flagged, she watches it, either lets it stay online or blocks it. And she starts to come across these ones that look a little too real. And the commentary it has on corporations and whether or not they give a shit is there, and I thought it was interesting, or at least on the money. So yeah, I just really liked her journey, and then where she ends up, I'm not 100% sure the answer to the nihilist question, because she does have that end of Texas Chainsaw, original cackling in the back of a truck kind of moment where she's finally won, but she looks like she may be insane.
Oh, I think it's more than that. In so much as, like, that part, yes, but the winning for her is to feed the exact same system that she's
fighting.
Yeah. So that's what makes it nihilistic, and not like End of Chainsaw Massacre is disturbing in so much as like this trauma will be with her forever, even though she escaped. That is fucking terrifying. That is her. This is her exploding with emotion because she literally just killed a dude, and her idea of winning is feeding a system that fucked her up in every single way, shape, and form. So
this is her
nihilism to me.
Samara Weaving hide and seek scream or red scream. Like she gets her cathartic act of violence at the end of the film. Yeah.
But I think the thing that's positive about it is she has been holding on to this trauma about her sister and being part of complicit in her sister's death. And the reason she's doing the job that she's doing is to try to make up.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that.
I wonder what this character is taking away from this experience, because at first I was like, oh, it's trauma on top of trauma, but then I also wonder, oh, but you did stop a serial killer, so is that actually helping a little bit?
I'm cosmic scales. I
mean emotionally for her as a character moving
honestly
forward.
I think I don't know, because the movie doesn't tell us that, but
thinking about it.
But I think the next beat, if they kept the camera on her, would be, what the fuck am I doing here? What is going on? Scary, not a continued celebration of fuck you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it almost like just cut right before that realization happened.
Yeah.
You want Horror's The Graduate ending where you just linger on them.
Kind of. Yeah. Like, we did it.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
We are married now.
I killed a guy? Question mark.
Yeah, like and normally I don't think about that, but the way that this movie kind of like laid those breadcrumbs for me, and that's how she wins. Also, too, like that choice at the end is compounded by like the choices she specifically makes along the movie in regards to stealing data, refusing to leave without his hard drive, or like having to search the fucking hard drive before just unplugging it and leaving. Like things like that where she's so lost in the sauce. What is winning?
Yeah.
And will she ever achieve it or have any kind of catharsis, because she is a hamster in this wheel forever? Because it's all live now. What she did, it's out there. Any kind of growth in learning herself or anonymity that may have been gained, exponentially gone forever in every way, shape, and form.
Well, I'll give one thing to the character arc. So I'm trying to remember the Australian duo behind Bring Her Back and Talk to Me, the Waka Flocka. The Filippo brothers. Filippo brothers. Those are the horror filmmakers that I am the most out of sync with. Like, I despise their films, and I'm like the only one that does. Like, people loved, like, people act like Talk to Me.
Jeff Canada hates them too.
I hate him. I hate him.
Talk to Me.
But part of the reason why is because I think that it is sort of the dead cat bounce, the like last stage of the current piece of trauma horror that we're in, where the purpose is to make your character suffer, and you give them trauma that they're never able to overcome. And that is what each of these films does, is like, you know, the trauma that they've experienced eventually rears and like pulls them under. And that are these movies like, look how terrible this is. And I'm tired of it. But I think that at the very least, and this kind of goes in with the notion that, you know, Barbie Ferrer's character throughout the film is presented as a difficult woman. And so she had like, do the police believe her? Does her roommate believe her? Do her friends believe her? She takes an action. She takes control over the end of her story. And I agree that it isn't necessarily a happy ending, but it stands out to me in comparison to films like Talk to Me, where at the end of the film, she was not a passive victim of everything that happened to her. She did something, and she'll have to live with the ramifications of something. Maybe there will be new trauma, but she overcame it. She wrestled her own destiny into place. And I think that is, and we'll talk about a million of these, I think that is an idea. I think that is a point in the film's favor, one of a 1,000 bright lights throughout the course of the film that maybe don't shape a constellation, but are little pieces that you're like, I'm excited to learn more about it.
Yeah, no, her arc does exist. Her arc is very clear and it's complete.
Yeah.
But I would be open to debating if it's satisfying or not in any kind of good for her. But I did like the third act of this movie. I think that's the first thing we said in the car. Like, I kind of like the third act when it became much more of a tension-fraught slasher. Because before that, for the first hour, it didn't seem like it understood what it wanted to do all the things instead of focus on the thing.
We were talking about the cat and mouse aspect of
that was the best
the
part.
split screen where she's researching him while he's researching her somewhere else.
I'm a sucker for that shit.
Yeah, that's
I just rewatched All the President's Men. So anytime you put like a typewriter in front of me of just like and screens and shit, I'm in. So yeah, I was good with that.
Yeah, we were talking before you shut up, JD, kind of
we were talking before
you, JD. And a couple of times I was like, we can't talk. JD's not here. You were like, let's talk about it.
Fuck this.
The fascinating thing about this film is that there are a lot of horror movies that get the internet stuff wrong. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
You know, we spent 10 years waiting for filmmakers to figure out how to do like text bubbles on screen, right? They're like, how do characters text each other in a movie? It took a long time for us to be like, that actually feels visually like it should. And I think that's one of the fascinating things about this movie is their fake TikTok, the, reverse stalking, the fact that she's doing a little bit and he is running circles around her.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is so spot on. And that is surprising to me because that's usually the thing that movies like this get wrong. They do the horror stuff well, but like let's hack. And you're like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
I wanted more of that. That's actually one of the things that I wish there was more of because that was more tense than any of his stalking scenes. Like just the computer work was more tense than that. And then also too, the entire subplot, I mentioned this to you, the entire it's shown, not told, which I always appreciate, but it was revealed in such a fun way that I wanted more of the movie to be about it and then more of the motivation or at least mechanics of how the killer worked to lean into it, which is how moderation is done.
Yeah.
How moderation is done and what thought and choices go into flagging something or keeping it up, and how he was able to game the system in very specific ways to keep his murder videos up, whereas just how to apply a condom on a banana was flagged.
Right.
Like that is so juicy and so ripe for internet movie, right? Like in a serious and way that has stakes, that has real consequences behind it. And this movie is all about consequences. Like our main character, where she the internet was an extreme consequence for her.
Right.
She is partaking in creating or removing consequences for the content. She lives this she's ingrained in it. But then when she's working in it, it's apathetic. And then you've got this character that's gaming the system. I just wanted more of that. And every time we got into it, gone.
But I think what you're hitting on is sort of the tension of this movie, which I find really interesting, is the fact that like it is intellectually satisfying and emotionally not. So like the idea that the reason why he's able to stalk his victims is because he fucking works at Verizon and just looks them up. Like that is a dark and scary concept. And it's not like narratively, there is no narrative arc to that. There isn't a like, how did he figure out how to do it? It's just the fact that he's like, oh, I like her TikTok account. What's her first and last name? Bop, bop, bop. And now I have it. And that is such the real world, the moment where it sort of deflates the balloon of narrative or horror and is just ridiculous. Like, this is the way that the real world works. It's not emotionally satisfying, but you're like, that's smart. And I think that I'm not feeling it, but I'm thinking it tension is something that I was finding myself caught with for most of the film.
But then the movie negates that with sequences like the murder of her roommate.
Yeah.
Which had no I don't like conversations about like this doesn't belong in this movie or it shouldn't have happened. It's more so how that entire sequence played out, even though it was shot incredibly well with like the single camera going in and out and around. It was the only time in the movie, a movie about extreme content, that felt superfluous and extra. Like in a sea of it was the most kind of by the numbers slasher part of the movie, but in the context of everything else, it seemed the most like, why? What is this serving the story at all? You're just falling into like 4 different tropes at once, poorly, with no narrative reason for it other than to fridge a side gay character. Yeah. Like it also was the fakest looking gore in the entire movie.
True.
I disagree.
No, not the bucket.
Oh, okay.
The CGI slash in his neck while he's sitting there. Like,
gotcha.
It was like,
because the bucket, note. I was like, is that really in him? Is that him?
It was a weird. I was.
It's a very good face.
This movie took me for a roller coaster of like, oh, this is really cool. Oh, why? Oh, this is really cool. Oh, why? Like I was left a little cold.
I'm sorry,
but worth it, but not.
Yeah. In the chat, the Keep It PG request has left me unable to communicate anything, which is a strange form of self-realization, says Pink Apocalypse. But at least the OG filmmakers of Faces of Death didn't end up in court to prove they didn't murder anybody like they did in Cannibal Holocaust, which is crazy. That's really insane to me that Cannibal Holocaust had to do that.
Yeah, I didn't remember that.
Anything else? Anything else you want to spoil?
This was worth it if you're a horror fan.
Yeah.
To find out for yourself. I guess I wanted a little bit more. I think the conversations that'll come out of this are more engaging and enjoyable than the movie experience itself.
Yeah. I think one of the problems I had is something that I've seen in so many horror movies that I was just like, oh, all right, which is the cops.
Oh God.
The whole cop situation where she gets the cops, brings them to the house, and then she gets triggered by the killer to like lunge for him, and then they just escort her away, as opposed to, we're going to put you in the car, we're going to close the door so that you're in the car and can't harm anyone else or yourself, and we're going to continue to investigate this man in his house with opera music playing really loud in the background for no reason, that sort of thing, and they're just like drive off with her.
I do wonder if was that supposed to be a all cops suck, which I get as a theme in general. That's fine.
It didn't play that way for me.
It strained all credulity in any way, shape, or form as to how that sequence of events would be approached. Even just bringing her, she was fucked up with a sprained ankle and cuts all over her face.
Yeah,
ma'am, would you like to get in the car
and
we'll go to this place where you're saying like they would take her to the hospital and or let the ambulance and then go investigate. Like it's so weird to me.
It also reminded me of a similar scene in Barbarian.
Yes.
With the cops.
Yeah.
Remind me of that one.
A similar situation where like a cop shows up, she tries to get help, and
she's in the basement. She's like on the glass at below the ground floor, like the little window that's at the very bottom of the yard. Yeah.
And she tries to get their help, and they just like ignore her and leave.
They ignore her, leave, or think it's a joke. Do they actually converse with her, or just don't see her?
I feel
I don't
like
think they see her.
They don't see her.
No,
like, that's not the same thing,
I think
right?
there's maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like there's a situation in Barbarian where she is running to the car for help, and they just drive off.
I think the bit is in Barbarian, they think she's just because it's an impoverished neighborhood.
Oh,
yeah,
she's just
they
a druggie.
think she's just a loony.
Yeah. But she actually talks to them, right? Like she tries to tell them what's happening, and they're just like, "Okay, ma'am," and then just leave. So yeah, similar situation.
I do think the film Faces of Death tries to get there with the fact that everybody who encounters her knows her as Train Girl.
Yeah.
And so everything that she does for the rest of her life is colored through the lens of like, if you know who she is, you're not going to really believe her about anything, which is, there have been books written about being canceled online and what that does for you. If you're a woman, if you're a man, you're fine. Yeah. But I do think that is something that the film is trying to play with, is that idea of like, what are the costs of this? If your worst moment of your life was on social media forever, how does that color every interaction you're ever going to have with another person? Does it land? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But is it there? Again, as an audience member, can you make that leap? And does it feel like a small enough leap that you're willing to grant it that? For me, yes. For you, man, sounds like not. For you,
to
probably
me, it was
not.
just a trope that we've seen in horror so many
Yeah.
times that I'm so used to it. I go, okay, well, the cops, cops don't do anything. Great.
And I'm used to it. I've seen it done exponentially better.
Mm.
And a sequence before that was a really harrowing one. And it just felt like most of this movie for me, crazy imbalanced.
Yep.
Like,
Speaking of harrowing, I do think that there's some really well put together suspense in this movie of like just them trying to escape, but then also the fun of yelling at the character, being like, "What do you just go? Stop looking through the hard drive. Just leave. What are you doing?" You know, that sort of thing.
the only thing that I enjoyed about that was
You could hear the whole audience.
the other character
Yeah.
saying, "I'm the evidence, you fucking
Yeah,
idiot."
Yeah.
Like,
The guy-
that's and honestly, that was meant to feel cathartic.
Yeah.
It just made me more annoyed with the character on the screen.
Yeah.
Not in a ooh kind of way, more in a I mean, she deserves to fucking die at this point. Like,
Yeah.
walk off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I didn't realize till later that she had grabbed a mini cam. That and so
Yeah.
she pulls it out later and like, where the fuck did she get? Oh, right. That's one of the things she grabbed from his like his tech desk.
I did think one of the good show don't tells is she's somebody that suffers anxiety. I'm not sure why they take stimulants, but that's cool. Or addicted to stimulants when you have panic attacks. Is that a thing?
Not for me.
No.
Just in
I don't-
like it struck me as weird. Like when she was taking them throughout the course of the movie, I thought that they were antidepressants or
Yeah.
just like abusing something. You find out they're stimulants, and it's just like hat on a hat. That's awesome.
yep.
But
I never said she was healthy.
hang on.
Yeah.
You know that she has maybe not an addiction, but a reliance on stimulants. They give her the Narcan, and you're like, oh, they talked about early in the movie, blah blah blah, and then she's snorting it before she like fucking goes. It's kind of presented as she's just getting high and she's gonna go be asshole,
Yeah.
but it's a part of her plan, which I thought was like really great show don't tell.
Mhm.
That's all.
Oh no, I agree. I like that too.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
a
all.
nice callback. That's
This is a
very
nice
cool.
little piece
Yeah.
of she's got a tolerance and she knows that he drugs.
Mhm.
Let's fucking go.
Mhm.
Can you pre-dose yourself on Narcan?
I don't know.
Whatever.
I'll say sure.
Before we go away,
Yes.
what did you think of They Will Kill Us? They Will Kill You? Did you see that?
Yes, I did not like
Zazie
it.
Beetz?
You didn't like it either?
Zazie Beetz, no. It's
I thought it was wonderful. He hated it.
Well,
Well, you didn't hate it. You were ish about it.
this goes back to what I was talking about with action movies. You start at 11, like at my most pretentious, I think a good action movie is like a concerto, where there's a fast section, there's a slow section, how those things ebb and flow into
Oh,
each
this is
other,
just
and like
escalation.
where you have a
Yeah.
motif that appears in multiple ways. Like it's music. A
Mhm.
good action sequence is music. And so when there are movies that do that really well, and I think The Raid is the example I always use, but is
Mhm.
a truly incredible action movie
Yeah.
because it escalates, it speeds up, and then it slows down, and it keeps those themes. They Will Kill You is just like out the door at 11, and then it never has any more to go. It just kind of stays at 11. And no knock on Zazie Beetz, who I think is fucking incredible in that movie.
Yeah.
But there is just it's just like a straight line up and then a plateau and then credits. And for me, that no matter how good you're doing your action sequences in the film,
Mm.
after a certain point, I'm like, you don't have anything left to show me.
Just
Like,
numb to it.
I've seen it all.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, to me, it felt like in the same way that Scream came out in 1996, and then for the decade after that, we got a bunch of knockoffs of Scream trying to do that thing. They Will Kill You felt like a response to like, Ready or Not.
Yeah.
It felt like, well, that's really popular right now. There's a number 2 coming. Let's do that thing. That's how it felt to me. Not to say that there aren't like excellent sequences in that movie, and
Yeah.
like I was cackling, and they really do take it even further than I expected them to, with like the eyeball and the headless corpses underground.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. But overall, as a full experience, I was like, all right.
I try not to be I am not a snarky writer. I am not smarter or better than movies I don't like. That's something I try and shy away from. But I will say halfway through the movie, I realized the only thing I was having fun with was guessing whether or not Patricia Arquette's Irish accent would be present in the next scene.
Ah,
Yeah, she
So,
lost it
brutal.
hardcore.
It was
Tons of times.
brutal.
there was the escalation.
And I was
Yeah.
I had cannoned that as she's been alive for 120 years and drops it and brings it back.
I got you.
Just like if Gillian Anderson can have 2 accents in her waking life, then so can Patricia Arquette's fake character
totally
for
fair.
120 years.
Nice. All right. We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
Thanks so much,
Thank
Matt.
you, Matt, for
Yeah,
joining
Thank
us.
you guys. Yeah, it's fun
Awesome.
to be here. Number 2, I love it.
What's next week? Do we know?
I don't fucking know.
Cool. Join us next week when we talk about something.
Oh, I can tell you in a second. I think.
Tell us about what you're doing.
Yeah, what are you up to, bud?
Do you have a next episode planned?
I am about to go on vacation for a little bit. So Donato has the keys. My business partner, Matt Donato, has the keys to the shop alone for a spell. But we are publishing some new pieces. We have a piece on Sacrament, the 2010s horror film from, what's his face? Not Eli Roth, but somebody else.
Ty West.
Ty West, thank you. We have a piece going up this week on
that the-
Sacrament.
No.
The drill in the head.
No, that's the one with Dan Stevens. Sacrament is the John Jones, the Jones.
Oh, yeah,
Sound
that was
Master
good.
one.
Yeah.
That was good.
That movie's
Oh,
awesome.
that was great.
I love
Yeah.
that film. So I don't know exactly what Donato has planned for our upcoming podcast episodes, but I can say over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have some good essays.
Awesome.
Next week is to be determined.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. Next week's The Mummy.
Oh, the new Mummy.
Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Lee
Did you get a
Cronin's
chance to see that yet?
No, I don't want to.
I don't either.
I
looks a
love
little
Lee
too
Cronin.
nihilistic.
I think Hole in the Ground is maybe one of my favorite horror movies ever, but The Mummy just looks like it's trying to capture something from 10 years ago.
Oh.
I don't know.
I haven't really been impressed. I need to rewatch Evil Dead Rise because it hit me real fucking cold.
Yeah,
I think that might be my favorite Evil Dead.
Whoa!
I
Dying of
I
fire.
sat with it for a while. I think it might be because the performance in that
No.
is the best performance in all those
Oh,
movies.
sure.
All
Wait,
right.
if we're
That's
talking
right.
about like, hey, who's your favorite Deadite?
No.
Sure.
No, that's for me. That's you give me one really juicy performance to sink my teeth into. I
I'm
don't need
sorry.
anything else.
Jane Levy.
That's where I'm
yeah.
at. Jane Levy.
No.
And
Oh,
No,
Evil
I
Dead
don't-
remake.
It's fine.
That's mine.
It's fine. I'm not a big fan of the remake.
Oh, I love the
it.
remake.
fine.
That's actually legit my favorite Evil Dead.
I enjoyed being on the podcast for the last time. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll talk at you later.
do do
Thanks, y'all.
Skidly-dee.